An iconic home in Palm Springs just hit the market. The famous glass ladies' houses in Venice Beach are also now for sale. And the Tropicana Resort in Las Vegas is sadly about to be demolished. It's that time again. In today's episode, let's dive into some of the top real estate deals from the past month. Let's kick this off in the Hamptons. There's a house out in the Hamptons that just hit the market for $38 million. But if you buy this place, there's a catch. You're not even allowed to move into it. The mansion is currently owned by the big shot real estate developer Harry Macklowe, who illegally cleared land on the property, built additions without permits, endangered the wetlands, and racked up fines for 21 violations that he hasn't paid in over 5 years. He basically just bought this place, went rogue, and did whatever he wanted. And this isn't the first time that Macklowe has been wrapped up in similar drama. Back in the 80s, he demolished a building in Times Square in the middle of the night without permits. All right, so just from the cover shot, you guys can already tell this is a prime piece of real estate. It's a huge lot, East Hampton address, right on the water. The house itself isn't actually all that big though. It's 4 bedrooms and 5,500 square feet. And check this out, in the price history, it says Macklowe bought the place for about $10 million in 2017, so he's trying to like quadruple his money. Anyways, from these first couple of shots, it doesn't really look like anything illegal is going on. It kind of just looks like a regular old house. All this water access though, and it almost doesn't even look like there's anywhere to park your boat. Here's one of the bedrooms inside. Amazing views. This is the living room and it's like a hospital in here. I love how it's just like white everything, like white wood floors, white walls, white ceilings, little seating area on your deck. And that's it. They don't give us much for photos. I can't even really tell what he's done here illegally. I mean, it all looks pretty well manicured and put together, but if you built a bunch of stuff here without permits or did a bunch of remodeling inside without permits, that'll get you in trouble. I would guess he's going to have a hard time selling this place. The famous Tropicana Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is about to close its doors for good. It'll close up shop on April 2nd, soon to be demolished and replaced with a $1.5 billion Major League Baseball stadium. As it stands, the hotel is sitting on a whopping 35 acres of land and includes a casino floor of almost 50,000 square feet. As awesome and iconic as the Tropicana is, it kind of has lost a bit of its cool factor over the past couple of years as other newer and better casinos have been built up and down the strip. So check it out. We got a couple of renderings of what the new A's Stadium is going to look like once they knock down the Tropicana. This is the view that you're going to get if you're sitting right behind home plate. You're looking out over the field and the Vegas Strip is in the backdrop. How cool is that? Here's a view of what you'll see if you're walking up to the park, and it almost looks like this whole thing is kind of like sitting up on a pedestal. The architecture of this place is awesome. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's very cool, and it totally dwarfs the Excalibur over here next to it. And then here's just a view of it looking the other direction. I'm not even a baseball fan, but I love this place. Anybody who wants to stay at the Tropicana between now and the closure is going to need to pay a premium just for the nostalgia, I guess. And there are a lot of logistics that are still trying to be figured out. Like, for example, this artist who spent $4 million in over a year on the stained glass interior dome at the Tropicana. He wants to find a way to save his artwork if possible. It's going to be extremely challenging to do though because of how delicate stained glass is. The Sphere was the biggest change to the Vegas skyline that we've seen in a while, but this new A's Stadium is almost as exciting. I guess this is one of those situations where we're out with the old and in with the new. RIP Tropicana. Now, if anybody is looking for a 1,763 acre English estate that was built in the year 1560, I've got you covered. And yes, you heard that right. This place is literally 500 years old. It just hit the market for 19 million pounds, which is about 24 million US dollars. Here's the sales brochure. I guess they don't do Zillow out here in England. Anyways, the place is obviously very historic. It's been owned by royal families. It's been remodeled a couple of times, tons of history. This is what it looks like from the outside, very picturesque. Plus, this is a massive property, but all of the grounds at least surrounding the house are perfectly manicured. On the inside, it's definitely got that like old world charm to it. And most of these finished finishes, I'm guessing, are not 500 years old. I would doubt that a lot of this is original, but still, I bet you a lot of this stuff still is from like the 17 or 1800s. That's still pretty old. You got a pool table, huge master suite, clawfoot tub, and probably one of the other bedrooms with a fireplace. Can you imagine owning this place and just like walking around these gardens with a cup of tea or whatever they do in England? That would be epic. If you know me, you know that I'll find any excuse I can get to talk about cool mid-century modern architecture, and perfect timing for today's episode. This iconic home in Palm Springs just hit the market. So here's the listing website. The house is in this neighborhood called Vista Las Palmas. It was designed by architect William Kreisel. It is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom house, and the place has just 2,300 square feet. First of all, I love how in so many of these Palm Springs listings, they drop a cool classic car in the garage. And another kind of signature thing that you see in these old Palm Springs houses are these really bright doors like this blue one. Those tall walls create a lot of privacy in the front, so this front courtyard is kind of like an extension of the house. And then as you walk through the front door and you guys see the next handful of photos, I mean, I know this style isn't for everybody. Some people might look at it as like dated or whatever, but to me, it's just so hip, so cool, completely timeless, really. And you can tell that this one has been updated with some more modern finishes and amenities over the years, but I think they did a really nice job like respecting the original architecture and picking finishes and stuff that definitely goes with the lines of the house. I could 100% see myself living here. What's great about Palm Springs, if you're into this style of architecture, is you can go on Zillow and basically just scroll through here and throw a dart and hit a house that looks just as cool as the one we were just looking at. Like this place, they're asking $3.5 million, and just look at all of the architectural details here. Or here's another super vibey spot, and so many of these houses too have the mountains in the backdrop, which is just another really cool touch. Or even this one, this is a new construction house. This is a pre-construction offering, so these are just renderings, but check it out. Even the new houses they're putting up in Palm Springs are still super cool and super modern. It's time we head over to the other side of the country real quick. We've got an apartment in Chelsea that I guess is maybe going for a bit of that Palm Springs vibe because there's a private pool inside of this apartment. Now, any of you guys who know Manhattan real estate knows that having a pool inside of your place is a very rare amenity, but in this unit over by Hudson Yards, they've got you covered. Now, I'm kind of surprised by the price on this unit. I would have thought it would have been higher. They're asking $5.2 million. And another thing I'm surprised by is they don't even start with the pool in the cover shot. They start with this living room shot, which is still very impressive. I mean, look at those windows. And here's what that room looks like without furniture. The kitchen's a decent size for a New York apartment. Same with the master bedroom, lots of space and a good amount of closet space too. So here's your swimming pool. As expected, it's not huge, and in reality, you're probably not getting any sun if you swim here either, but still awesome. We're gonna round out today's episode with 2 amazing houses that just hit the market in Venice Beach. These ones are known as the Glass Ladies. They're asking $5.4 million each, and these places were just finished being built last year. And what the developer was doing here is he was trying to give a nod to the famous painted lady houses that you see in San Francisco. And I'm not gonna lie, he did a great job. So check it out. Here's the first one, $5.5 million, 5 beds, 6 baths, 4,200 square feet. The place looks like this from the street. Awesome at nighttime, but it looks pretty cool during the day as well. Nice living room with a huge fireplace. And then this is what you see looking the other direction through to the dining room and staircase. The kitchen's got blue cabinets and what looks like quartz countertop. Then in the back where the garage was supposed to go, it looks like based on that door, they actually just converted it into like a seating area. I read that right now these houses are both being used for Airbnb, so that's probably why they got the extra chairs and ping pong table in the garage. The finishes throughout this house are obviously pretty wild, but the architecture is also pretty wild, so it's kind of to be expected. To be honest, as much as I love this place, I don't know that I could picture myself actually living here. I think it's just too intense for me, but you definitely could see how this would make for a very good Airbnb. So here's the one next door that's also supposedly for sale, even though Zillow is not showing it for sale at the moment. And this is what this one looks like from the street. Inside, it's just as crazy as the neighbor's house, but a much different vibe. You got a lot of wood on the walls here. I mean, yeah, just look at that living room. I think both the houses actually come with a pool. We didn't see the pool on the other one, but I'm pretty sure this just runs along the side of the house. Very different kitchen. Oh, but check it out. Right off the kitchen is that pool. That's pretty cool. But anyways, you guys get the idea. The designer definitely had some fun with these places. I think they're pretty iconic in terms of the location and the architecture and the architect behind them and all the finishes, and people love to look at these things from the street. I don't know if they're going to be able to fetch these prices anytime soon. In my opinion, Venice Beach is not necessarily the most desirable place to be in California right now, but best of luck to them. They definitely did an awesome job with these places, and yeah, I hope they get their price. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed the video today, make sure you hit the like button down below before you go. I'll see you next time.